So AI can now make video games. As a game developer, I know how tough it is to make them. You need to know coding, 3D modeling, game design, sound design, and so many more skills, which I'm more or less good at. But what if, just for today, I lost all of those skills? Could AI help me make a video game by just telling it what to do? Well, this is Rosebud AI. All I have to do is tell it what I want my game to be like, and it will make it for me. For example, let's tell it to make a plane flying game in a city. Right now, it's letting me know what it's implementing and generating the code of the game. And indeed, we have a paper plane. We've also got the orbs that I told it to add. The plane does fly, but it's a bit buggy at the moment, and I don't really like the controls. I also find it weird that it hovers if I don't press space. So I just told the AI to make the plane always move forwards and be controlled by mouse. It's a bit better, but the plane could be faster. Let's also lock the cursor to the screen. I also told it to fix the bug where the plane flips over. And here's what we've got. I want to add a boost to the plane while holding down click, and also have speed lines flying around the camera while boosting. While the AI is working on that, let's remake the plane model. Well, Rosebud AI has its own 3D model generator. I actually haven't used it yet, so let's see how it does. I mean, it does look like a plane, it's good enough. I can now ask the AI to replace the current plane model with the one I generated. With the new model, the boost and the speed lines, here's what the game looks like now. Now mind you, this only took me about 15 minutes to make. But imagine what I could create if I spent the rest of the day building a horror game with Rosebud AI. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I've also put together a list of tasks to really see what Rosebud AI is capable of. The first one being a character controller. So I'm back on their site and I'll tell the AI to generate me a WASD first-person character controller. Usually the first prompt you give takes around 2 minutes to generate, so I'll be back when it's done.
A few moments later.
So it finished writing all of the code, and from what I see, it did the character controller perfectly. Honestly, how could you even mess up a character controller, but anyway. It also added some cubes to make it easier to see that you're moving, but we won't be needing those. I also asked it to add a grass texture to the ground, just for now. I like how Rosebud AI already suggested implementing a jump mechanic. So we've currently got jumping, and I've also added sprinting. But I want to ask it something a bit more complicated. Here's the prompt I'll give it. Add a crouch and slide mechanic. When idle and pressing Ctrl, crouch. But when walking or running, add a slide that slowly brings you to a stop depending on your speed. And it works just fine. But the slide is a bit short at the moment, let's fix it. I'll just tell it to make the slide longer. And it works. Now I want to add a sway to the camera when looking around. I also told it to add the sway when the player moves left and right. And just like that, the character controller is done. The next thing I want to add is a weapon system. Rosebud AI also lets you import your own models, and I found this shotgun on Sketchfab that will work for now. At the moment, Rosebud only supports GLTF and GLB files. Thankfully, Sketchfab makes it super easy to download models in those formats. So the model's imported, and now it's time to tell the AI to set up the weapon system. Eventually, I want the game to have 2 weapons, but for now I'll just be adding the shotgun. Well, Rosebud will. Let's see how it does. Okay, that's much better. I'll be adding a sway to the weapons too. So far, Rosebud AI is doing a great job, but let's see if it can make the weapon aim. Here I explained exactly what I wanted to happen while aiming, but it took things a little too literally when I said move the weapon to the middle of the screen. Let's fix that. So it works now, but the camera is clipping through the model. Bug fixing is actually really easy with Rosebud. All I have to do is tell it what the problem is and it will figure it out. I also told it to lower the FOV and move the gun a bit closer to the camera, and it's turning out really good. Now I'm asking it to add a muzzle flash to the gun. It's not positioned quite right, so I'll also tell it to move it a bit higher and more forward. Okay, so the gun's looking a lot better now, but it's still not quite there. It needs a bit more feedback, so let's give it a recoil animation. I'm actually really impressed with what the AI has done so far. While the player is running, I want them to hold the gun up, similar to how it works in other shooter games, and it looks really good. I think it's time to add another weapon to the game. So I found this AK-47 model, and here's how it looks in game. I also told the AI to add some debug requests on shooting. The current shotgun model doesn't fit with the art style I'm going for, so I replaced it with another one. Alright, so we've got the character controller and the weapon system. And I also asked the AI to add a reload animation to the guns. Now it's time to start making the map. I want the AI to generate a random maze so that every time you play, the map is different. Here's the prompt that I gave it. So Rosebud finished generating the maze, and it totally looks like one, though I want the tunnels to be much bigger. I just told Rosebud to make the map larger and give it a floor and a ceiling, but it spat out this error. Codebase too large. Help Rosie by selecting which files to focus on. Apparently, since there are a lot of scripts and some of them are pretty long, I need to hide a few so Rosebud has less to process. Let's try that again. So Rosebud also needs the scene setup script to be active in order to modify the maze. Alright, let's try it one more time. And it totally worked. I want to show you another cool feature of Rosebud AI. The corners of the maze don't connect perfectly, so I'll tell the AI that, and I will also press the screenshot button that will give it a visual representation of how the problem looks, and it fixed it. As I said at the beginning of the video, this AI can generate 3D models, but it can also generate images, and I'll try to use it to make textures for the maze. I really wonder if it can create seamless textures. So it's currently generating a concrete texture, And we have it. I mean, it doesn't really look like concrete. Let's try something else. So I've been generating textures for the past few minutes and we have a lot of options. Let's try this brick one for example. I'll just modify the prompt Rosebud gave me so it knows that I want the texture on the walls. I mean, they look good. They're also seamless, but I don't think they fit the art style of the game. I'm going for a more realistic look and I'm sure if I tried enough I could get the right textures, but I think I'll import the textures later on. So one of the tasks on the list is post-processing. An effect I always use in my Unity games is chromatic aberration. It's that RGB look on the edges of the screen. I wonder if Rosebud can do it. And look at that! It improved the look of the game so much. So I want some UI in the corner of the screen that shows my total ammo, loaded ammo and the weapon I have equipped. Well, I will take a screenshot of the game and paste it in Paint. Here I will add some boxes in the position where I want the UI to be. I will also color code the boxes. And back in Rosebud AI, I will tell it what to put in the boxes. Here's the prompt I gave it. And as you can see, it worked. This image feature can be used in so many ways. You can even transform images into 3D scenes. Okay, for a horror game, this game isn't so horror at the moment. Well, I found this free zombie model on Sketchfab. It also has a bunch of animations and I really want to see how easily I can add it to the game. So I imported the model and now I will ask Rosebud to add the enemy to the game. I'll also list the names of the animations. So I don't see any zombies right now. I think it didn't give them an AI yet. For now, let's spawn the zombie right next to us. And here it is. Rosebud even suggested adding a chase mechanic to the zombie. So it's a bit buggy at the moment. It's really slow and can walk through walls. Alright, so I fixed the wall collision issue and right now Rosebud is suggesting also adding a wander mechanic. So now it can wander around the map. And when it sees me, it should chase me. I still haven't changed its speed, so let me do that now. Not only that the zombie is much faster now, but you can also kill it. And when you're low on health, I told Rosebud to add a red vignette to the camera. The game needs sound effects. I found and cropped a few weapon sound effects and then imported them into Rosebud. And the implementation was really easy. I also found some zombie sound effects and imported them all at the same time, and then gave Rosebud one prompt. And it totally worked. Alright, let's also add some footsteps. I imported all of the sounds and then told Rosebud to figure it out. So sound effects are done, and now I want to add another enemy. I told Rosebud to add the new monster to the game and use the same code as the zombie, just with fewer of them spawning. One of the last things I'll be adding to the game is some canisters you can blow up to kill multiple enemies at once. So I've spent the next hour adding an objective to the game, a main menu, loading screen, textures and some other visual changes. Here's the AI generated horror game. The game turned out really well, and I'm honestly impressed with what the AI managed to do in just one day. So what's my take on Rosebud AI? Well, if you're looking to make a small game like the one I built, it's a solid tool. And if you don't know how to code, it's an awesome way to bring your ideas to life. Even as a game developer myself, I had a lot of fun working with it. Now, if you're worried it might replace game developers, don't be. If you're aiming to build a full Steam level game, you're still better off taking the time to create it yourself. But the way I see it, Rosebud AI is a great tool for beginner developers and even for experienced devs who want to quickly put together a demo. It's also really easy to release your game. It's just one click of a button. Big thanks to Rosebud AI for sponsoring this video. If you want to give it a try, click the link in the description.